His neighbors just watched at first. They didn't understand what he was doing, but he was determined. He started with a small excavator, carefully digging the garden. Then he shaped the hole with leveling machines. The molds were set up, tons of concrete was poured with mixers, and compacted with vibration machines. After the waterproofing was applied, the tile-laying machines came into play. Finally, water was filled with a powerful pump system. And now, there is a dazzling pool in that ordinary garden. Get ready, because this transformation will amaze you. In the first scene, the mini excavator starts digging, shaping the garden with each stroke of its shovel. The leveling machine comes into play immediately after, and the contours of the pool begin to emerge. As the concrete mixer turns loudly, the gray liquid poured into the molds lays the foundations for the future coolness. The vibrating vibration devices smooth the surface, while the insulation layer is carefully laid. And here is the most satisfying moment. The tile-laying machines lay the mosaics as if they were dancing. Finally, the water motor starts and the pool begins to fill. Here, not an ordinary pool, but a full-size Olympic swimming pool is being built. Concrete pumps are activated and tons of concrete are sprayed into giant molds at high pressure. The surface, compacted with vibration machines, turns into a giant mirror. Then, several layers of special insulation are laid for waterproofing. Tile-laying robots place each square in Olympic dimensions. When the starting blocks, turn panels and water circulation systems are installed, what emerges is not a pool. It is the heart of swimming. Don't say, how can you make a wall with soil? In these images, an incredible structure that uses the power of nature rises. Earthbag house construction. First, the foundation area is prepared with ground leveling machines. Then the heart of the work begins. The compressed soil filled in giant bags is arranged in order. As each layer is placed, it is compacted with vibration machines and then secured with wire mesh. Barbed wire laid on top of the bags is used to reinforce the next layer. This project, which started quietly in a corner of the garden, gradually turns into its own private living space. First, excavation for the foundation begins. The mini excavator machine carefully opens the ground. Then, ready-mixed concrete molds are placed and a solid base is created. Cutting and assembly machines come into play for the installation of the wooden frame. Each piece is measured and screwed together to complete the frame. An ordinary garden corner is now rewritten with the magic of fire. First, the area is cleared and the ground is leveled with a mini leveler. Then the fiery scene begins. The bricks are shaped with a cutting machine to be placed one by one. The concrete mortar is prepared with a mixing machine and expertly applied between each brick. The structure, which rises layer by layer, quickly turns into an impressive outdoor fireplace. The upper chimney section is shaped with a special stone cutting machine and carefully placed. In the final step, the outer surface is brushed, the details are cleaned, and the resulting view, a masterpiece of my own making that illuminates, warms, and enchants in the evenings. Everything starts with a solid foundation excavation. First, a concrete layer is poured onto the leveled ground. Then fire-resistant bricks are shaped with a cutting machine to create a round base. The mortar is prepared with a mixer and each brick is placed in its place one by one. After the special mold skeleton is established for the dome form, the bricks are fixed with mortar and knitted upwards. The structure, which is compressed with vibration in each layer, takes the form of a strong dome. Then the chimney is placed. The outer coating is plastered and the inside of the structure is left to dry slowly. Finally, the first logs are placed and the flames start dancing. Now this oven is the new address for flavor in the middle of the garden. A brand new kitchen is born in the garden with stone, steel, and machines. First, the ground is dug and the concrete foundation is laid. Then the steel frame is assembled, stone cladding bricks are cut and placed. The counter is laid, the stove and sink units are installed. Once the electricity and water connections are completed, this structure is no longer an ordinary barbecue area, but a fully fledged outdoor kitchen. It starts with just a container, but this ordinary metal box quickly turns into a modern home. First, the ground is prepared and the container is carefully placed. Then, the door and window openings are opened with cutting machines. Insulation materials are fixed to the walls inside, and the electrical installation begins. This is just the beginning. Keep watching, because you will soon witness how an ordinary container turns into a stylish and livable home. The silent preparation that starts in the garden turns into a special tennis court. In the first step, the ground is dug and a smooth base is created. Then, large leveling machines make the surface smooth. The concrete pouring process begins. The surface is tightened with vibration. A special coating is applied to the dried base and lines are marked with precise measurements. The net posts are installed and the net is stretched as the final touch. This is no longer a garden, but a special court where a professional match will begin. This small but incredibly powerful drill makes things fly. The craftsman who picks it up can drill through concrete walls in just a few seconds. Moreover, it works at such a speed that it is as if there were 10 workers with him. Screwing, drilling, tightening. Whatever you give it to do, it does it nonstop. When you watch this man working with the drill, you will ask yourself, is he really doing all this by himself? Get ready, you will soon witness the power of this tool, and you will not believe what you see. This little tool will leave you speechless when you see its power. Here is the pack tool. Don't be fooled by its size, because this beast cuts sheets and panels like paper. In just one move, it makes millimetric cuts, and the craftsman finishes the work that would take a whole day in minutes. No hand saws, no heavy machinery. Once you have the pack tool in your hand, you don't need anything else. Now hold on tight, because you'll see how this little giant can do legendary work. Wait a minute. Don't say you've lifted anything without seeing this tool. Grabo Pro is not your average vacuum. It's a powerhouse that literally defies gravity. Marble, tile, glass, it doesn't matter. It sticks to the surface with a touch, lifts, carries, places. And the best part? The master lifts huge slabs without tiring his arms or wasting time. When you watch it, you'll say, is this magic or technology? If there is a sound on the construction site, DeWalt Hammer is working there. This tool hits so hard that concrete cracks, walls shake. In just a few seconds, it breaks apart thick structures that have stood for years. A man takes it in his hand. The stone moves as soon as he steps on it. Do you want to break it? The king of that business is here. When they hear DeWalt Hammer working, everyone steps aside. Because there, it's not the work that speaks, it's the power. When the Bora Portamate is placed on the ground, it is fixed in just a few seconds. Then the metal support arms are lifted up and the roller system is activated. When the craftsman places the long wooden plate on it, the material moves back and forth on its own. Even heavy pieces are easily slid. The saw is perfectly aligned to the cutting point. There is no slipping, no bending. Thanks to its height-adjustable structure, it fits perfectly to every saw model. Trim puller retires classic pry bars and screwdrivers. There is no longer any difficulty in separating skirting boards, window frames, or parquet edges stuck to the wall. It enters the wall without damaging it with its wide, flat jaw surface and removes the part in a single movement. It leaves no scratches or marks. The craftsman just presses, the tool distributes the tension and lifts the part from the bottom up, and the job is done. Saving time, speed in this case. The surface is smooth, not piece by piece. It is finished in one move. Introducing SpeedSkim. While the master is giving the final touch to the plaster, this flexible surface smoother changes everything with its width. It smooths meters of area in a single swipe, not with small strokes like an ordinary trowel. Hold it by the handle, press lightly, and sweep from beginning to end. It removes scratches and ripples on the plaster by scraping them off. The hands of the masters racing against time are now faster and cleaner. With this versatile power tool, work is now solved from a single point. Once the main engine is running, it acts according to whichever bit is attached. When the drill bit is connected, it enters with a powerful rotation, and when the grinding head is attached, sparks start to rain down. Each bit is replaced in seconds. The system never stops. The master only changes the bit, and the device does the rest of the work. This rotary head surface treatment machine can easily reach even high places with its flexible extension arm. The head starts rotating as soon as you press it on the surface and does the job without pressing. It doesn't matter if it's a wall, ceiling, or corner. The machine flattens, cleans, and smooths the prepared surface. The master only gives direction. The machine carries out the work. No climbing up a ladder, no arm pain. Whoever has their hands on this machine on the construction site, the job is finished the fastest. If you have difficulty lifting heavy panels with 2 people, then you have not seen this tool. Thanks to the handles, it is now possible to lift large panels, wooden boards, or plasterboards alone. The master puts his arm through, the carrying hooks grasp the material, the weight is balanced, and carrying becomes child's play. There is no risk of slipping or falling. The load is spread from the back to the arm, and the huge panel is carried to the other end of the wall by one person. The screw is finished, the drill stopped. Put the screw in, start again. Now this cycle ends. Because this automatic screwdriver feeds the screws lined up on the strip itself, and you just press them. Each screw waits its turn, the tool advances automatically. The screwing continues without interruption. The master does not bend, never takes his hand away, and works without interruption. Dozens of screws enter a surface in seconds, and none of them leave a burr. Working with this tool is like screwing with a machine gun. Did you say speed? A new one comes before it is finished. Heavy stones, huge curbs, paving blocks. Trying to carry them by hand is now a thing of the past. When this vacuum lifter touches the surface, the vacuum is activated and lifts the stone into the air with a single movement. No ropes, chains, or second person are required. When the handle is directed, the load is dropped exactly where it is wanted. This device places each stone where it is to be placed with millimeter precision. Removing the floor covering is no problem. It just becomes a show to watch. When this tile removing machine is placed on the floor, the vibrating blade underneath it enters the ceramic at high speed and breaks the plate. There is no hammering, no risk of flying pieces. You slide it along the surface, it enters from underneath and breaks and separates the tile in one move. When the motor is activated, the vibration force breaks down all the adhesive. You look up from the ground, and each step seems a little harder. But this ladder is not like that. Thanks to its telescopic structure, it extends in seconds and adjusts to the height you want millimeter by millimeter. The feet are fixed the moment they touch the ground. There is no slipping, no imbalance. When you pull, each level automatically locks and is ready to work. When you are done, it is collected again with a single move. You put it under your arm and climb up. If the wall is curved, the pipe is round, the corner is open, the work is complicated, but not with this tool. When the shape measuring tool presses on the surface, its needles move and copy the form it is in exactly. The master transfers this trace directly to the material, and the cut fits exactly. No measuring, no guessing, no recutting. No matter how complicated it is, it captures the form instantly, and the master only has to cut and place it in place.